Hello everybody, welcome to The Story Behind the Music. My name is John Banther. I'm here today with soloist and principal trombone player of the Royal Concertgebouw Orchestra, Jörgen van Rijen. Now, you're a busy guy. Every week it's a different country, it seems. You know, Peru and then New York, and usually going to Switzerland and France this week. And so I'm thinking, I'm waiting until I hear you say, no, I can't do next week, I'm going to the moon.
Yeah. It's not happened so far.
Not yet. Not
no
yet.
audience there.
Yeah, not yet. Well, you won your job with the Concertgebouw at a very young age, right? You were 22? 22. But you also had a big job just before that.
Right. In Rotterdam Philharmonic. Yeah.
And that was, how old were you then?
21.
21. And was that a one-year position, or was it a full-time?
It was full-time, but I never was there longer than half a year, actually. Because I started in February, and then in May was audition in Amsterdam. And I was very happy in Rotterdam because it's a great orchestra as well. And actually, I studied in Rotterdam. It was a job of my teacher, so it was something fantastic to have that, and it could have been there the rest of my life. But in Holland, you have Rotterdam Philharmonic is fantastic, but the most famous orchestra of Holland and the best orchestra is the Concertgebouw Orchestra. So when that job came open, I thought, okay, this is the time in my life that I have to try to get there. And I did the audition in May, and I'm on the job. So after the summer, in August, I changed. So I was, in the end, it was only half a year in Rotterdam.
Okay. And why do you think you won the job at Concertgebouw?
That's a difficult question.
Yeah, because I was thinking
other people have to judge that. I don't know. I hope because they like my playing the most.
Right. Because I was thinking, you know, there's a lot you can say about someone who wins a job, a big job when they're very young. They generally stay with that job for, you know, almost their entire career.
Yeah.
But then it's like, there's all these questions I could ask, but then you just had a big job the year before.
Yeah.
So,
no, one thing to say, I don't know against other people because I can't judge how the others play. So that's the decision of the jury. But I can only tell for myself, it was the right timing. It should not have been 1 year earlier, because then I would not be ready for it. You're developing. I went in December '96 was the audition for Rotterdam Philharmonic, and before that I was 3 months studying in France with Michel Becquet, and as an exchange project, Erasmus project. And before I went there, I did some other auditions, and I felt more or less ready to do the audition, and I could play the pieces. But when I did the audition, at the moment I had to do it. It didn't really work, and nerves and everything we all know.
Right.
So and then I thought, okay, looking back to those auditions, I thought it was not well enough prepared. I have to do the preparation so extremely well that they can wake me up in the middle of the night and ask me this and this excerpt, and I have to be able to do it on automatic pilot, technically.
Yeah.
So I thought these 3 months I go to France. Of course, I had a great teacher there, Michel Becquet, and I learned a lot. But the most important for me was for myself that I decided for these 3 months, you always have a little voice in your head telling you what you should do. Your teacher tells you have to practice all the skills, you have to, and somewhere you know that you have to do it.
Yeah.
But there's many times, many reasons there is why you think tomorrow I do it, or you just don't do it, or you do it half and think, okay, it was enough for today. I thought just for these 3 months as an experiment, I follow this little voice, and whatever I, in a way, know I actually should do, I do, because there was nothing else to do for me. When I was here at home, there's always the phone and the family and friends and so many things. And I went 3 months to France and thought, okay, the only thing I have to do is practicing, and the rest of the time I enjoy it. You can't practice 24 hours a day, so there was enough time to enjoy my life there, but what had to be done, had to be done. So I did every day. I already knew there was coming an audition after these 3 months in Rotterdam Philharmonic. So I thought, I didn't know exactly the program, but mostly when they announced the program for the audition, if you start practicing then you're too late. Because in 3-4 weeks you have to prepare everything. So I thought all the main excerpts I practiced every day, and every day slow with the metronome. Everything on the mouthpiece to know every single note. And everything you know you actually should do once in your life, but you never do.
Right.
And after that 3 months, I came back and won the audition in Rotterdam. So if you ask me what made you win the audition, I cannot say anything compared to other candidates. But for me, I really, that 3 months, of course it was great lessons also with Monsieur Becker, but mostly it was this 3 months just deciding to exactly everything you already know you should do, but you not always do. Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah. It's the Spanish mañana. Yeah. But we all know this because we, in a way, still, of course, there's many things you're busy and you think actually I should do that, but that's not. Everybody has that. But if you can, only this 3 months is not really a long time. But if you can manage once to say to yourself, okay, for this period, I really do everything. I practice long notes, I practice scales, I practice everything with metronome, all you can think of that you should do. That made me so much more, and even in a way not that I could play much better. I could play these excerpts already before these 3 months normally, but it was enough more stable after these 3 months that I could do it also in the audition. And I could be sure that things work and go to the audition, and then you can be there convinced, and they ask you to do Will and Tell or Tuba Mirupi, you do, because it's so printed in your memory, in your muscle memory and everything that you can just deliver when they ask for it. And that was for me the most important thing that made me from being sort of ready to win an audition and then it doesn't happen, to finally be ready to win it.
Okay.
And then so I started 2 months later in the orchestra, and 3 months later after that was the audition in Amsterdam, and that was just, I was just thinking, okay, if I ever want to be in that orchestra, I have to try now. And I was still sort of in the mood for auditioning. It was more or less the same pieces, so I thought, okay, go for it. And that was really good that I could be completely relaxed because I had a great job. And there was nothing to lose, and I just thought, whatever I try to play, I want it again.
So, how did that affect you winning a job at such a young age? In what good ways and bad ways did that affect you?
Of course, it was great. First of all, and it's fantastic. Musically, I learned so much because you always think in school when you're there, you're in a trombone and brass environment. Of course, you listen sometimes to the violin concerto, but my first rehearsal in the orchestra was Mahler 5, and hearing second clarinet playing 2 bars alone, making something beautiful of it, and then suddenly a violin or a cello or a horn. I was surprised by especially the musicianship of these people. Of course, I expected it to be very good, so everybody hits the notes, but that everybody makes something special of 1 bar they had alone. That was something that opened my eyes. That I thought, okay, it means that every opportunity you have to do something special, you have to take. And that was something new for me. Not to say that it was in Rotterdam Philharmonic, not good musicians and nothing to compare, but it was something special of this orchestra. That's why I think the orchestra is so famous. So that was many things. It was just being there for the first few years and just trying to deal with and try to cope with the level of the rest. That was for a few years very very challenging, and it's great to play all those pieces for the first time. So that means you have to prepare very well and listen. And I was lucky to have a great group. So very very nice colleagues who were also quite new in the orchestra. So we were sitting together many times, just with the section, playing through all the pieces that to do, and preparing together. It was a very good, positive atmosphere. So that was great. The difficulty is that you always have a goal when you practice in your conservatory time. Once in my life, that's why you all do it. You get such a job, and then suddenly you have that job. And for the first 2-3 years, of course, you practice.